late last year. I didn't know how actually well known she was in the community and how involved she is in the community. She's also a community activist, part of Partido Urbano. I like to involve myself, revolve myself around people like that, like Michael and Jesse. To me, that's like we all have a little bit of Che Guevara inside of us, a little bit of Pedro Albizu, Luilita Lebron, and that's what I'm about. I know that's what they're about, and I know Janeida is all about that. She fights for the people. She fights for the nationalism of Puerto Rico, as do I, and that's what it should be about, people. So please put your hands together for Janeida Rivera, Queen of HD.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna try my hardest to engage you guys. Like you said, my name is Janeida. I go by the Queen of HP. HP is Humboldt Park. Humboldt Park is a community that I was born and raised in. I'm very proud to represent. There are a lot of stigmas about people, particularly Puerto Rican women in Chicago, that I definitely find necessary to fight against. And the way that I do that is by using my voice unapologetically. So I'm going to do that tonight. So if you're offended by anything I say, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time. So I'm going to jump into it so we can get to the second feature that I'm also going to be joining. I want to send a shout out to my girls from Inaru tonight. I got a lot of residents of Humboldt Park, ABC in the house. I also want to make sure everybody remembers, if you're going to go to the mixtape release at Bate next week, I'll be spitting there. You can get your tips from Jesse Fuentes or from Spartacus if he's still here. Nice to meet you. So come check it out. There's a lot of stuff going on in January. I'm glad we're popping off the new year with poetry. So without further ado, this piece is called To Be Mommy. This is dedicated to all the women in the house. Particularly Maritza, happy birthday. So, to be mommy. Mom taught me to be mommy-like, to cook and clean and know that sex means parting between your Venus flytrap when given pretty, shiny things. Currency, you see. She says, little brown girl, waist cinched, nose pinched. You're lucky that papi's jeans lessen the chance that you would get my pelo. Y con pelo malo no te gustaría el nene who can offer you all that glitters is fucking expensive and you will never afford them. Silly pubescent me dared to dream had one this one day I could get oil stains ingrained into my skin and have cracked palms like Dad's Grand Canyon hands. I wanted pants 2 or 3 pairs, even tried cutting the pigtails from my hair. Once mommy found me kissing a girl, my corset constricted spirit ruptured vessels and throat when I yelled, get out, goddammit, I'm busy. Mommy told me to be mommy like ladylike, to get away while standing in the same place, facing restricted circulation between elbow and wrist to resist her own existence. With vials of syringed heroin, it would all begin to fade. So to be mommy, to be woman, to be a lady like lady was a tramp to escaping, destined to do nothing but sit and wait for shining armor with a fat back pocket to whisk me off to La La Land, where she'll wait for me with an extra needle. Instead of curtsies, fists, and Ozies, Barbie dolls was taught to brawl and yes, to wear pants, unless Johnny, nobody with a decent job, wanted to fuck me. Then a skirt would be proper attire. So mommy held my hand and bought me una maldita falda. Illusionist I became, Madonna you're not, but will appear to be. I learned to rouge, apply, and do lines, to cross my legs and sip box wine, to suck it in and suck it up, cause no man likes a prude. I did it to myself, they said she's been around and earned her name. One guy who hasn't seen the backside of that bitch I was, and to remember that I am worthless. I let him call me his lady, like it was the goddamn medieval times and I was a white woman named Guinevere. There were 2 me's. One was chained in captivity and still continues to be Latina, savage, whore. Mommy saying, lady like that's not, stop spitting or I'll split your lip. Walk in formation, hands on hips, don't lie. That's right, Shakira, because we talk with our bodies and fall on deaf eardrums when he's not listening to a word I'm saying. Are you? To be woman, feminine. Like lady, you should powder face. The truth is Boricuas don't have naturally thin frames. Mommy only knew that I could stay out of the sun of the caramel sands of Puerto Rico, or I would get too dark to be coveted like ice cold coquito mid-June. Commodified to coconut ice cream, and she still never recognized how I'm in a straight jacket like bra with pink frills and black ruffles and a hideous bow in the middle, which by the way, panties never match too, because who the hell cares about me? A thing, a trophy, an animal, an experiment, a colonial specimen having her ovaries ripped out to reduce our nation to barren bitches is all we are, or so I believed, even though it isn't so. When I talk me out of place, me back in mommy's womb and give her a chance to reteach me. Please, I can relearn that to be mommy like effeminate lady woman, I never sell myself for a compliment or a quarter. For a man or to a woman, submit is not an option. To have me she had, but I now understand my only hope: to marry a doctor, lawyer. She could never afford to hire either. No expectations of me but to reproduce even from myself. I dreamt just last night I was in a poofy white dress, picket white fence, skin a little more pale. I was conditioned to be mommy, like to put bows in hair, show me to walk with books on head. She says little brown girl, waist cinched, nose pinched. One day, mija, one day you might just be lucky enough to be a mommy. Thank you. So this next piece is called Ched T-shirt. I think that I come from a community where I had the privilege of being involved in a movement at a really young age. And a lot of the times when we start learning about our history as people of color, you gravitate towards a lot of the iconic figures in history like Che Guevara. But sometimes people don't move past that phase in their learning. And it's about rhetoric. And it becomes about this famous image and fitting in. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, some of our white comrades are in a movement to be part of that movement that is fashionable. And I feel like that's my experience. And this poem came from a story my brother told me about riding his bike. My brother rides his bike everywhere he commutes. And he feels like he's constantly be green. Not like I recycle. My bad, I guess he could be green, because I ain't getting on a bike. But the point is, my brother's like, I always feel like these thin, skinny, hipster bikers want to blast past me to prove a point that I don't belong in that I guess that sport or doing that certain activity. And I was like, wow, it's crazy how competition exists, even for something as basic as transportation, getting from point A to B, and it becomes a lot more than that. So this is dedicated to the fucking assholes who ride past my brothers and don't acknowledge them. So this is called Ched T-shirt. And I do have a potty mouth, I'm sorry. Kind of, a little bit, not really. Ched T-shirt. I can't stand you. Yes, you with the peace sign tag, Converse, thick Ray-Ban rims, and green silk screen Che Guevara T-shirt. I came to march and defend on various occasions with Mexican flag on one. Then your offensive disregard for suds and water made my si se puede enthusiasm chanting and clapping abruptly cease. See, I was stuck behind you for a 3-mile stretch, and by mile 2, my left hand held my nose flowing. I'm sorry.
It's okay, girl. Come on. Go ahead. Come on, say it.
And by mile 2, my left hand held nose, tongue plugged, the vomit floating at the very top of my esophagus. The sense still haunts me. Other than your lack of hygiene, we've rubbed elbows at several soirees, but that left skinny pant leg rolled up, grunge green tie tee, bicycle lock and back pocket always gives you up. Costume that grants you access to commiserate with tread clone brethren. Poverty to you is romantic. You're skinny like fashion when our kids skinny like famish. You appropriate struggle so you have different styles to choose from. Ched T-shirt being your favorite. Berets, button collection on messenger bag, indigenous weave bracelets from Aeropostale. How else would you justify your place at juking for justice parties with funky ass faux leftist friends smoking ace and drinking PBR 40s out of brown paper bags? You watch us with West Side Story, shark eyes, start trends of conditions we still suffering with. This for you is fad, not some shit we do to be your muses, neither amusement nor comrades. What irks me is how someone can want to fight every struggle when none resonate with your being. Feeble attempt as if white privilege could be revoked, but you still want your ego stroked like, dude, you are so political. And that's a badass Chet t-shirt. You hopscotch from advocating for green cards to Greenpeace because you ain't leaving shit behind but guilt, and that's real. Trying to be my neighbor, you publicly intoxicated at the hipster vortex of doom. For those of you who don't know where that is, that's the North Avenue, Dana, and Milwaukee intersection. Never care to meet mom or pop, not caring to see the faces of people who call your neighborhood their community. Your makeshift Wicker Park portal, you are guests. So check yourself. Che Guevara isn't the only Latin American symbol of resistance. Read a book sometime. Let's let Che rest, shall we? So this next piece is called Waiting.
I know that's right.
I am an active member of the National Boricua Human Rights Network. A lot of you might have read online or in the newspaper that Oscar Lopez Rivera, one of our remaining Puerto Rican political prisoners, parole was recently turned down, and we have to do a lot of work in order to have them revisit that so that Oscar can get his freedom, because Oscar is in prison for seditious conspiracy, which is not something condemnable by the United Nations. He's doing something that a lot of us do on a daily, which is exercise our right to talk about the freedom of our nation, the sovereignty of our country of Puerto Rico, and that's something I will do until my lips can no longer part, my voice doesn't come out, and until Oscar's home. So this piece, I think, is my way of dealing with imprisonment, but on a more personal level. A lot of us have relatives and mothers and fathers and neighbors and teachers and people around us in our communities who are incarcerated. And it's not necessarily something we're very proud of or discuss. And this is my way of discussing how it feels to have someone so close be in a situation where they have no freedom. And the effect on families. Because we rarely talk about the effect of being someone who's related to someone who's going through a struggle like that. Like the children of the addicted, like the children of people who are incarcerated. And that's someone who I am. And that's an experience I want to share. So this piece is called Waiting. Mireli me va a acompañar para este pedacito aquí de poesía. So, we're going to kick it off for y'all. It goes like this.
Sola ya no está sola, sola no llores más, nunca estaba sola y ahora menos sola estás. Sola ya no está sola, sola no llores más, nunca estaba sola y ahora menos sola estás.
On this day, the trees danced in unison above 26th Street. White fences stretched their fingers towards the sky, reaching for salvation. Brown faces surround me, expressionless, festering internally with disgrace, feet shuffling like spades. She lurks inside, takes long strides, agile, weightless, always calculating and concocting, shifting from hip to foot, heel to toe, crawling from wall to wall, gaze steady, breath deep, constant, chest tight, heartbeat races, but veins pulse scarcely. Veins thin like eating disorders, veins skinny like the needles that wore them down in the first place. Her tongue-tipped Thar desert cracked, parched and in shock. Her body reacts to demons being exorcised. The heroin is extracted, the rape of her addiction, thick clinging on with talons. She's left stripped, body is bleached clean. For 21 days, her roaring echoed for miles. She only knows 2 prayers and has no rosaries of plastic beads to bleed for her. Mother, in baby blue pajama, waits while I, flourish seed she planted, does her bidding. She prepares her papers in bedding for me to lie in once again. On 26th in California, I watch women, men, and children in thrift store fits that don't fit. Parents walk in and leave kids in parking with La Virgen, hands pressed together on sunscreen decal, resting on the rear windshield, watching over them. Parents walk past me, swearing profusely, refusing to listen to their brains. This veil is our bread. Their heart sprout legs strong enough to sprint without their permission, without reflection, never once asking, who is this benefiting? Sheriffs pass me by. I'm stealth, and stealth is better than invisible. They don't want to acknowledge my eyes, my face, my rage. I turn the page rereading Grito de Vieques. Lump in throat prevents me from lighting a Newport. I'm asked for the time 21 times this hour. The universe is taunting me. A passing social worker discusses the unfortunate death of one of her clients with a coworker. Apparently she had 4 children. She pauses. Did you watch Bad Girls Club last night, girl? She's pacing faster now. Mother knows she's almost free. Little does she know she can never attain freedom because she is the lock and key. Scheming hustles to invade her temples. Newfound purity, salivating anticipation of ingesting a viscous, putrid manifestation of colonial agony. Numbing of collective pacifism. Taste of complacence. Genocide of mothers is among us. Will we even weep? My eyes swell. Sporadically in bursts, I lick my lips. Salt reminds me of ocean I could be swimming in. Alone, uninterrupted, embraced by nurturing, calming waves. But instead, I'm standing on cracked concrete outside this asylum concentration camp, crying and trying to hide my wet cheeks from stranger stares, while inside, they exchange broken women for dividends. I'm 26 in Cali. So this is going to be my last piece for the evening before Inaru comes up. Woo! Play a shot game with that. Inaru. So this is actually the title piece for my chapbook, Queen I Am. Put together a little book to try to shove all of my very schizophrenic thoughts into one location. If you're interested in getting a copy, come holler at me afterwards. I'll be at a table kicking it. You can ask questions. We can talk about hanging out. You know, I'm trying to make friends too. I just want to let everyone know, thank you so much. I have a horrible cold and I'm pretty doped up right now on Nyquil,
Yes.
Vicks, Asopal, all of that. I had my mama cooking soup all weekend. But this piece is the title piece of my book called Queen I Am. I really feel like when I wrote it at the time, it was a proclamation of self. I think that one of the names that women are rarely called is very far down in the spectrum from queen. A lot of my friends joked with me when I titled the book, and they're like, "You live in Hope Park on the wrong side. You titling your book Queen, you'll get shot." And I wasn't really worried about it because I think that when I speak about when I read the piece, people understand what type of queen I'm talking about. I'm talking about your mothers in a positive way for once. I'm talking about your sisters, your aunties, your neighbors. I'm talking about everybody. But in this case, I'm also talking about myself. And I'm not afraid to talk about myself in a positive way for one of the first times in my life. So that's why this piece is really significant to me. So this is for all of the young women in the room. Hope you enjoy. Hope you guys come hang out with me afterwards.
Where we at?
Why the letters yellow?
Why the letter's yellow?
Don't sing.
Get up out my business. Come see me after. All right. So this piece is called Queen I Am, and it goes like this. Feet firm on the ground, chin to the sky, pondering honor and pride which take precedence over Benjamins and make pretend amens. I am queen But they still see me twirling hair around pointer finger, taking body shots of Presidente, a panty dropping pollo mente, chasing phantoms and platinums. Am I queen or a fantasma? Perhaps a representative of Fanta, because those commercials are quite catchy. I mean, don't you wanna? I catch a glance of my shadow skulking in slow motion. Where is she? J-Lo getting made in Manhattan, maybe Chiquita as in Banana, dancing with yellow phalluses on head, or Maria. Maria. I once knew a girl named Maria. Lesson 1 on how to be a Puerto Rican señorita. Incorporate flamenco in bed with lips flaming red. Lesson 2, give head, but don't look like you do.
I know that's right.
Lesson 3, call him papi, because Puerto Rican girls ain't got no fathers. 4, scream for your life, make animal sounds. Use a bullhorn when possible, because we're some loud bitches. 5, keep your blade sharp and accessible at all times. You are queens. When you hear "Mami, todo eso tuyo," transform into linguistic ninjas who in the blink of a tar-batted, paint-soaked eyelid responds as follows. Fuck you. Queen, your memory is of Puerto Rican royalty with golden arms that never miss targets, of goddesses who heal the bodies and spirit with songs and herbs. Queen, you be tracing your roots like road maps under the Sierra or the Burgos swept words of wisdom, informing little girls like Sonia Nieto to redirect education, preparing a squadron of reinas like you to kick in doors that have been slammed in our faces, shooting for libertad and catching cases. Queens be planting seeds to sprout trees which hook anchors into our earth, clinging for dear life, showing that no one cares if there's a king or co-queen in the picture, since you're more than capable of ruling your castle solo. Single mothers are scholars too, just ask Antonia Darde. We be queens combating colonial conundrums. You are to be addressed as such. I be the queen of Humble Park, reigning from a balcony above La División. Queen that's entrusted to raise your children where parents can't reach. I breach boundaries, cold fronts labeled as unbreakable, showing young minds possibilities through poetry. Queen soy, y'all showing sheer strength, not taking shit from anyone, holding young women's hands past barbershop windows, teaching her to deflect their gazes with palabras más afiladas than their straight edges. Queen of HP doesn't use cute synonyms for her vagina.
I know that's right.
And if I did, she would never be called some sweet shit like Toto, Botoncito, Muffin, Punani. I'd call it some powerful shit like Shira, Jaws, Predator. I want people trembling at the mention of my Medusa. I am fear and light, synergy and rebellion. I am queen who survived the mountain of misery, watching families slowly die, witnessing destruction of love and loyalty, being kicked and stabbed, pushed and grabbed, tears burning cheeks, branding me broken, bleeding, begging. And then this queen rose, wielding my experience as weapons, rhyming reality and flowing fantasies. Queen, I am queen of HP is unrivaled. Love it when others come get some, they leave shredded with each syllable embedded verbal splitters. My words send shivers like Chicago winters. The queen is to be hailed and never crossed. Passionate poet, thuggerilla spits poison, flows persistent, my Boricua blood's resistant. Don't get it twisted. The queen of HP who cleans the streets. Queen me occasionally freestyles to hip-hop beats. HP holds my heart, and to it I am loyal like macheteras to our tierra. Queens fuck images of Boricua women solely sewing our flag or draped in lares toga like Lady Liberty. I am Renaissance of Puerto Rican women. Call me the fucking queen of HP.